Hi guys, John Catalano from Diamond Audio. And on today's workshop, we're going to dive into why you need DSP in Powersports. Stay tuned. So working on a UTV, you're going to realize that there's a very limited power supply. We have maybe 40, 50 amps if we're lucky of current, and then usually a very small battery on top of that. It has to run all of the components of the UTV. If it's got a winch, if it's got lights, if it's got all these other accessories that are usually added onto a UTV. So when we add an audio system, we have a limited amount of power and we want to optimize that as much as possible, and that's where the DSP comes in. So let's just talk about the crossovers. So the crossovers are going to allow us to optimize the output of our speakers and the output of our amplifiers. So they're only playing the frequencies that we need those drivers to do. If we're using a passive crossover or something of that nature, those rob current. So we want to use this active setup in the DSP to make the efficiency of those speakers as perfect as possible, and they're going to sound better on top of it. One of the other issues we're going to run into when using a DSP in the UTV is the distance between speakers. What will happen is if these distances are different in compared to where the driver is sitting, you will get cancellations. So maybe they're not getting as much bass because those frequencies are canceling each other out, or reflections in the vehicle, but usually it's the distance is the most apparent. So with the time delay, we can compensate for that so it's the sound reaches the rider at the same time and we don't get those cancellations. So we don't have to turn up the volume to try to compensate. We could actually just keep the volume in the same area, the same amount of power being driven, but the efficiency of the speakers is higher. And again, the sound quality just improves. So it's a side effect. We get better sound quality and more efficiency at the same time. So to kind of encompass it all, if we're using time delay, we're using our crossover settings, we're using all these things, we're going to improve the overall efficiency of the system. So that way, when we're driving it hard, we're only using the amount of power that we need. So instead of, let's say, the system drawing 15 or 20 amps, maybe we're only drawing 10 or 12 amps. So that reserves that extra power. So if you want to play it with the system, with the vehicle not running, you're parked or something like that, you could just keep playing it and not have to worry about wasting power, which also creates heat for the amplifiers, overdrives the speakers. There's all other reasons why making that system more efficient is beneficial to the rider and to the sound quality. So we've designed this TSP perfectly for UTVs. It's IPX rated. It's very compact. So you're able to add this to your install with very little worry about space and those kind of considerations. So if you made it this far, hopefully we've shown you why you'd want to add a DSP to your next UTV install. Yes, we're not trying to create a soundstage on a car like we would in a car. It's a totally different application. We just want to maximize the efficiency, but also get great sound at the same time. So I appreciate you taking the time to follow me on this workshop, and we'll see you on the next one.